Well, United and Dan Olmo, it's one of those stories that I was really yearning to do. And I was like, is it possible? Not until yesterday we got to know that the court went ahead, obviously reject what a case, like the appeal that was put in there by Barcelona. I was like, let me come up and do it. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. And this is Rock and David, and continue to subscribe as we want to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Now, Paul Hurst has told us that Man United are keeping an eye on Dani Olmo's situation. You understand? And then we also got a story coming in from Man United is interested in Dani Olmo, and the player's agent is in Manchester exploring options, obviously, because of the situation that happened in Barcelona. And that situation has been described by Mundo Deportivo that the Commercial Court of Barcelona has rejected Barcelona's appeal for registration of Dani Olmo. Both clubs from Manchester United are interested, with United being more determined to obviously get this deal done and dusted. So that's what we got in through from Barcelona, and the court rejected the appeal of Barcelona to obviously extend the Dani Olmo registration. Remember, they were given a temporary registration until 31st December. And there was a clause that if at all they don't really find themselves eligible for registering this player again, then they will obviously have no way to obviously have this player. The player will be a free agent, and Barcelona is working tooth and nail to obviously get in Dani Olmo. And we're really having a confusing state in here for you. Mundo Deportivo have told us that Joan Laporte, the president of Barcelona, is working tooth and nail to obviously do this. And finally, he has decided to do the following. Barcelona have signed a deal to sell part of the Camp Nou seats, but it still will not allow the registration of Dani Olmo. So Mundo Deportivo is telling us that it will not allow the sale of Dani Olmo. You understand? And there is another source coming in through from Barcelona, and he works on Radio Marca. He told us that Barcelona will be able to register Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Joan Laporte has reached an agreement for 100 million euros that allows the registration of both. Not only that, Barca finally returns to a 1-1 financial fair play rule. So the information is really confusing, and I'm just waiting for those top guys, you know. I'm just waiting for those top guys from the tier one, like the Fabrizio Romanos, David Osteen, Sammy McBulls, and there is a guy I really want to hear from as Gerard Romero. You know, fans of Man United got to know about Gerard Romero when obviously went ahead to break the story of when went ahead obviously drop the story of went ahead to break the story of Frank de Jong in March, you know, and it never really came to pass. But the story was accurate, the interest was genuine, and United obviously wanted to bring Frankie de Jong, and they really bottled the deal. That is United for you. So Gerard Romero is one of those that I'm really waiting to hear from for this deal of Dani Olmo. But whether he signs for Manchester United or not, I'm liking that intent that they're looking at two players that I've talked about that we need in this system of Ruben Amorim to be effective. I talked about a left wing back, and you saw to it that yesterday a sort of Bruno Mendes came up, you know, to the table. And I talked about another number 10 in that system of Manchester United to obviously come and offload that work from Bruno Fernandes, and Dan Olmo ticks that box. So Man United is looking in for those players, meaning that even if we miss out on Dani Olmo, then we are really eyeing for a number 10. We need those players because we are not creative enough. We have the ball possession in plenty, but we don't really use it to obviously break those lines of the opponent, and that this is where all things really don't go on as planned for me, and I believe that's where our play really breaks. I've gone ahead obviously say this on several occasions that the problem of Manchester United is its creative department. When we still had Erik ten Hag, you remember that we had selfish players in 1. Rashford, 2. Garnacho, 3. Anthony, 4. Bruno Fernandes. And there is no way you can have your striker not in a graveyard shift if at all he's being surrounded by selfish players around him, you know. Now we need to get in more players that are not selfish, and that's the spirit in which United are looking at Nuno Mendes and Dani Olmo to come in through at the club of Manchester United and put in the required shift altogether, because that's where we should be looking at as a club of Manchester United. That's where we should be aiming, because we cannot at any point see ourselves losing out onto what we think is really very important for the club of Manchester United. And I think that is really, really great for this club, and you're going to be here waiting to see how things are really going to be panning out for Dani Olmo. But who is Dani Olmo? Spanish international. They've just signed him from RB Leipzig. He's one of those players that I've loved a lot because of his talent and his creativity. He's a press-resistant player and will always find a pass for his number 9. And this system suits him very well. And I tell you, his creative abilities are really more than those of Bruno Fernandes. He has a better skill set. He can take off players. He's good at shooting at goal. And to show you that he's really that good player at scoring goals, in his first season at Barcelona, you know, Dani Olmo, without a preseason, has come up and obviously produced what we call wonders at Manchester United. I tell you, sorry, at Barcelona. When you look in the La Liga, 11 games played, 5 goals, 0 assists. In the Champions League, 4 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist. He has played 15 games for Barcelona. He has 6 goals and 1 assist. That shows you how good he is. But all this doesn't really show his importance on the pitch, because he will obviously come up with that secondary assist that won't be registered in here for you. He'll obviously sit down 2-3 players and obviously put in a very beautiful shift. That is Dani Olmo for you, and that's what he brings on the table, and that's what I love about the player. He's so special, and his abilities are what United need in their number 10. If there is a number 10 that we need, he should be having the abilities of Dani Olmo. That's why I've always told you that these are the modern number 10s. Bruno Fernandes is not a modern number 10. Good player, but he's no longer a modern number 10. I tell you, he's no longer a modern number 10, you know? And he's a number 10 who will thrive in a system of a counter-attacking and so on and so forth. But in this system, where you need a well-composed number 10, this is not his job to do as a player. So that's why Dani Olmo is really one of those that I would love to see come to Manchester United, though we are having a very huge story coming from Barcelona that they've gone ahead obviously getting money to register the player, and we still wait because 31st is not far, and if I told the guy is registered, I'll be here letting you know that the guy is registered. But that information showing us that they've gotten 100 million euros and they're going to be doing the needful to obviously register the player, that is yet to be known to very many other people. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Dani Olmo to United dilemma. But there are other teams like Arsenal that are also monitoring the situation, Man City, Bayern Munich, and very many others. They are monitoring the situation because of how special this player is. And every time you hear a player being linked to those teams and United is interested in him, I tell you, that shows you there is a special quality in that player. Though I'm really having a very huge doubt that the situation at Manchester United can see us convince a player, can see us convince a player to come to Manchester United when teams like Arsenal, Man City, Bayern Munich are really showing huge interest into the player. The Glazers would go in for a huge salary that a player would obviously fall in for, but Ineos won't do that. You understand? So guys, Thank you very much for watching through. Rokan David is my name. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about what we're going to talk about. And here we come to the end of this video, and I'm going to be returning with more news and information about Man United. Bye-bye.